on the 29th of June 2022, I was crossing the road trying to use the ATM at the other side of the road. I crossed the first lane, tried to cross the second lane, and I don't know what happened. I just slipped and fell. And I was trying to stand up. I could not stand up. I found that my leg was dangling, my right femur here. I just noticed that nothing is here. I could not move it. So the vehicles I was trying to run away from, miraculously God stopped those vehicles. So those vehicles had to stop, and everybody was like, what happened, madam? Stand up. I could not stand up. So to the glory of God, I just looked to the back. I just saw my husband passing by the other side of the road.
So after dropping the kids at school, usually I was supposed to go through another road, which was my normal route, but I believe the steps of the righteous are ordered by God. So I went through another route that will take me through our office back to where I was going. And also, by the time I got there, it's not my usual doing of slowing down, driving, and I wind down and start looking at what is going on at the cross of the road. Never. I don't do that. But that morning, I just had that nudging. Check out what is going on there now. So I had to slow down. And in a jiffy, I think I saw a cloth that looked like hers. I said, no, it can't be. So before I could knew it, I just saw her hand trying to wave me down. That's my husband. I said, from where to where now? So in my mind, my normal person, I said, well, Lagosians now, we know the dollar ourselves. I said, I'm looking at two men, hefty guys beside her. Maybe something went wrong somewhere. One of them was, I will call my men to come and pick some of them up. But immediately I heard the Holy Spirit said, be careful of what you do. Get there and just tell her, Jesus is here. I said, in this kind of scenario, people are fighting and you said I should go and tell them Jesus. Let me fight back now. I stopped hearing anything. So I parked, I jumped over, and on getting there, people were saying, oh God, don't worry, just let's carry her. I said, what happened? And she said, I can't move my leg. I said, it's not possible, just relax yourself. So I lay hand on the leg. I said, Jesus, you just told me you are here. So I told her, I said, Jesus said I should tell you, he's here.
So that word's talking to me, Jesus is here. So I knew that Jesus is here and he's going to handle it. And I told him, God, this leg I use it for evangelism. I cannot go crippled. My leg cannot be amputated. I was saying Jesus is here. So immediately they rushed me to the hospital. So when we got to the hospital, they was making a whole lot of noise because the pain was so much. I was making a whole lot of noise, and all the doctors came out, checked the leg, see what is going on. The first thing they first gave me because of the pain was pain relief so that I can calm down. So after they gave me the pain relief, they had to carry an x-ray to check what actually went wrong with the leg. And they found out that the femur, the right femur, was broken into two and a little piece somewhere. So they now had to pack it. They used some stuffs to pack it so that the leg can be straight, so that there will not be blood clots anywhere. So immediately after packing it, they scheduled me for an operation the next day. When I was calm, I placed the mantle on my leg. It was on a Wednesday. So I called my zonal pastor. They came after the service. They administered the anointing oil and the communion.
That same evening, our children were having their promotional exam. So I was very careful of telling them what was going on. So I just picked them from school, went home. They were asking, where's mommy? I said, mommy went on assignment from work. So that evening, I just had to give them some, now men cooking cannot be like mommy's cooking. So they went to bed. I couldn't sleep really, because usually we gist sometimes before we sleep, but there was nothing of such, so my mind was just rolling. So in the midst of that, I slept off. So I had my time within 1 and 4, when I usually pray the Kingdom Advancement Prayer for souls and all our converts and all that. So by the time I woke up, I was praying till around 2, 3. Then I busted really into tears because it really moved me. I was like, Lord, you didn't tell me anything of this in the morning. Others that had issues before, you reveal, will have prayed it off. So what went wrong? There was no answer from him. The only thing I knew was, I heard him say to me, son, what do you want? It was so strong in my heart. And I said, well, I want her fully restored back like nothing ever happened. And in the midst of that, I was still praying and I fell asleep. So right there in that little short time that I slept off, I just saw a man putting on white. I saw her on the stretcher, I don't know what they call that, in the theater room. And the man opened that side up. And I saw him just turn on his welding machine. He just went on around that particular point. It was as if he brought the thing together, now put the lead, the welding lead, and welded that particular joint well, and had to do some dressing there. And he looked at it, he said, yes, this is good. And he closed it up. And immediately I woke up. And from that time, I just screamed in that night. I said, no. I got her back right now. So from that very minute, I knew it was settled.
Meanwhile, when we got to the hospital, my vitals was taken and they found that my BP was very, very high. So while the operation was being carried on, they found that my BP was still very, very high. So they have to put me on oxygen to sustain me. The operation lasted over 2 hours and it was successful. Thereafter, I was put on bed rest for a day, could not move the leg. Then they called in the physiotherapist to help me with the movements of my legs. So the second day after the operation, I was given crutches. So the physiotherapy taught me how to use the crutches for some movement while in the hospital. So I stayed in the hospital for 1 week before I was discharged. My healing was quick. I used the crutches for 2 months as against 3 months that the doctor proposed. Now I can walk, I can do what I could not do before, to the glory of God. I can't remember that my leg was broken. I can wear heels, I can go anywhere. I give God the glory because He perfected my healing.